All right, trying to load my screen. So it's my first time connecting, so just bear with me. I believe you can see my chat now, so I think with that we can maybe start. All right, if you can see my chat, type 1 on the chat. We're going to start with DXY. We're going to first start with the dollar index. All right, so we are starting with the dollar index. Now, there is something on the dollar index that I would like to bring to your attention, which we have right here is an inversion gap plus a fair value gap as well. So we have this gap here, which is an inversion gap, and it's sitting exactly, or it aligns directly with this other one. So at this point, price took out with this month, which is July's previous monthly low, and then we are rejecting back up right now. What is actually happening here is a concept we call double push, which means it's kind of like a CRT, but it is a concept that deals with price reading both sides of the candle, or reading both sides of the market. Like, for example, you can have your range low and then your range high. What happens is that the market comes, takes the range low, and then goes back up to take the range high. This is what we call the double push. Sometimes it will be like this. The market creates a range, all right, and then it does what? It goes up, takes the range high, and then comes back down to take the range low. All right, this is called double push theory. I think maybe I'm gonna make a video on that, but this is actually what is happening here. We took out the monthly high of July, and then we here we took the monthly low, and then we're pushing back up. So if we're just looking at the monthly time frame, we can say that there is likelihood that price will come right up to this monthly fair value gap, right? This inversion gap plus this fair value gap. So, and plus we are trading also up from a good key area. There was a breaker zone right here. Okay, so this is, we can actually say that on the monthly time frame, just to limit it, like we're going to be targeting the previous monthly high. Maybe if we end up closing this candle, because today is already the 28th, so we can likely close within the range of this candle. All right, so which means that this is likely going to be a CRT for us, right? And now, if this is a CRT for us, then there is a likelihood that we're going to target the previous monthly high. We are likely going to target the previous monthly high, and if we're targeting the previous monthly high, then that's to complete our CRT, right? So let's put that. Let's say that's what we are looking at for on the monthly time frame. So if we're now moving down to the lower time frame, having this buy idea, then I think it will be easy for us, right? Let me see. So let's go down to the lower time frame, to the weekly. Right. Now, on the weekly time frame, we had a beautiful sweep of that July's month, the previous monthly low for July. Please, if you have a question, just put it on the chat so that I will be able to, I'll give you a reply while we continue higher. And also, you can also see the previous monthly low here, which is also this candle on the weekly chart. All right. So this can also be a CRT on the weekly, because the key level that we're talking about here now is actually an old low, or monthly, let's just say previous monthly low. So that's our key level when it comes to this weekly CRT. So price is moving higher, and we have closed even above two previous weekly candles. So interesting, there is a likelihood that price will want to continue higher. But now let's zoom in a little bit and let me show you guys something. Do you guys see these candles high? About four of them. This is a trend line liquidity on the lower time frame. Okay, so if we have this as a trend line liquidity, Let me put it at the center, and let's reduce it maybe to a 10. So we have this trend line phantom here, and remember I always tell you that if you have a trend line phantom and if price starts to clear that trend line liquidity, it's going to clear right to the end of that liquidity. It's going to clear it right to the end, right? So which means that for this week we are going to be targeting the end of this trend line liquidity. Okay, so this can be our first target for buys on DXY, which is actually the end of that trend line liquidity, right? Now let's see, let's go to the daily chart, and then we'll start now to look for areas that can support this buying bias that we have. Now let's see, we have let me just bring this a little bit like this. Okay, so we have this to be like our trend line, and good. So maybe a retest of it will fall around this area. Beautiful. So now we have an area here which is like a breaker. Okay, which is like a breaker. So let me put this trend line liquidity here. Good. So this particular candle here, all right, this particular bearish candle here is going to act like our order block. So I expect, at least since it's also confluencing with this fair value gap here, it's possible that we're going to have a reaction from that area. Okay, we're going to have a reaction from that zone, and for higher prices, and it will be very good because also this will now be like a CR low and then another CR high, so we can have something like this for this week. All right, for this week price already filled this gap, which was also an inversion, so we are bullish, and the price should take out all that liquidity up there, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have a reaction here before a pullback from this other block here. You can have a pullback from that other block before price continue higher, but this is what we are looking at. All right, this a move to this key level, and then higher prices will continue from there. Price will drop down to this point and then fill this fair value gap, also retest this. I think this is going to be a breaker on the 4-hour. Yes, it's a breaker zone on the 4-hour, though price already looks like it mitigated it a little bit. Yeah, we can just have price pull back, at least take out that low, and we continue higher. Okay, because this was supposed to be a good breaker, but since price has already mitigated it, price can still use that zone as price can still use the zone to maybe take out liquidity. All right, you manipulate that zone. Price will manipulate the zone, and then continue higher. So that's my point of interest for DXY around this area, which is a fair value gap, and then also another block. And remember, this is the fair value gap low, FVG low. Okay, that's the low of the FVG, and that's the high. That's the high, and then this is the low. So with DXY, we are expecting, now why I draw this trend line, that was our trend line liquidity, right? So I wanted to see if we can have a retest, something like that. If we draw a trend line to maybe, like, we're going to have a retest of the trend line, maybe from here, if I link it to that high, and then we bring it a little bit down, that's too much already. Okay, anyways, good. So we are looking at this trend line liquidity here, this trend line liquidity, and price should read it. Okay, price should take all these trend lines right up to this point, and plus we have a very nice fair value gap here as well. This all this huge imbalance here, price will likely have to come and then mitigate it. Can you record it so I can watch it afterwards? Yes, it's going to be recorded, so you'll be able to go through it. You're going to be able to go through it. So that's what I'm looking at on DXY. More sales down to the daily fair value gap, which is here. All right, more sales on DXY down to this fair value gap before we can start buying again. All right, and yeah, that's it. At least this first target, if price reaches here, then we're gonna reconsider, maybe analyze again and see how price is moving, because that might happen and then price change the narrative to continue selling. Who knows? Anything can happen. So let's go to Euro USD. Right, on Euro USD, we have pretty much the same thing, having price reacting from this weekly fair value gap here. Oh, price did not trade. I think it was a monthly fair value gap, I think. So we have this monthly fair value gap. Price traded into it, and then we have had a nice rejection ever since that. And then this is the previous monthly low. So we are suspecting that price might want to target this previous monthly low before anything happens. If that's going to be the case, then we can use this candle as well as our CRT high and CR low. But though I don't really want price to drop that much, but for now, what my target is just this trend line liquidity, the same trend line liquidity that we have seen on GU. I mean on DXY, right? This trend line liquidity, I just want price to read it right down to this point. So this can still act like an inducement. This can still act like an inducement to this candle here, maybe like another block, right? So if we're clearing that trend line liquidity, then price should at least trade down to somewhere. But now, if we want to sell, what should price do before it sells? We have this right here, and we also have this here to be like a breaker block, because this was supposed to be another block as price closed above it here. All right, but it failed, so now it should be an order block. It should be a breaker block, and in that case, we have this right here. We have this gap here, which we can use it. So this is our breaker, and then we have this FVG. Let me put middle right. So on the Euro USD, there is likelihood that price is going to trade higher before we trade back down to take this inducement, and maybe from here now price can, if it wants to continue back higher, then it should at that time. All right, but this is a good key level for us to watch out for price movement. And yeah, this was our total soup there, and I think price from there at least can trade right down. Now also, this is like an accumulation here. Okay, we have this zone here to be like an accumulation. This is like an accumulation right here. So accumulation, top, right, center. Good. So if this is an accumulation, then manipulation taking out that previous monthly high, and then we should now have a distribution down, right? Maybe now into at least reading these lows right here. So that's basically what I'm expecting on you guys can put a like on this live, so that at least we maybe can will be recommended to other people, and then they will join us and we'll trade together. Okay, are you guys following up? Are you guys following up? Are you guys with me? right, so we are bearish on Euro USD if at all price will trade back up to this breakout block, right? We also have a small fair value gap here. This one. We have this small fair value gap here, and I will not really expect price to hold it. I want to see at least, because if we're taking that high, it's actually a liquidity grab right now. The concept of inducement and liquidity grab is very simple. The people that are going to be selling, if the people that will be willing to sell off this market, they are going to be placing their orders maybe on this other block, right? So if this market needs sellers, what the market will need to do is activate the sellers here, all right? Activate their buy orders, because if you put in a sell order like this, what you actually have here as your stop loss is what? A buy order, all right? You are buying back what you sold. So if the market needs sellers, it has to, if the market needs people to buy so that it can sell, then it needs to activate those people that are selling. All right, if it activates those who are selling, then at that point the market can drop. All right, the market can drop. So it'll be very risky to enter a sell from here, because I don't see any liquidity before that zone. All right, so price can likely to sub this zone, just like we saw on DXY before. Maybe it will continue lower. Remember, this high is the high of that fair value gap, so there's a likelihood that price can do something like that before it continues. Let's see 1 hour time frame. Maybe we can have something there like a breaker or something. Good. We have something here on the 1 hour. This 1 hour order block here. Okay, so look at that closely. We have this 1 hour order block here. We can use that as we can use that to enter like a breaker, okay, like a key level after this inducement high is taken. So if we use this high as an inducement, then that will be a good area for us to short from. But before we sell, we need to have confirmation on the lower time frame, maybe like 15 minutes. Okay, so we'll have something like this. We're working with this breaker. We're working with that breaker on the no, should be at the center, middle. Now, if you're using this as a breaker, what we need to see is some shift in market structure, right? Before we can sell. Now, if we're selling, we are targeting the origin of this trend line. We're targeting the origin of this trend line to fill up all this inefficiency here. I have to fill up all this gap here, and then from there. Yes, I'm also looking at that. A monthly CRT is very possible. Yeah, it's possible to be an RTO, right? Yeah, return to other block. It's very possible. All about look at the sell point as an inducement to the daily fair value gap. Yeah. All right, so guys, this is what I'm looking at on Euro USD. That's what I'm looking at on Euro USD. You can actually send a chart, right? If you're also on your chart, maybe you send a chart on the you can send a picture of what you're looking at on the chart, and I think I'll see it, so that at least we'll be learning all of us at the same time. Okay, but this is what I'm expecting on Euro USD. We'll have some more sales here. I think we'll still trade live here together, right, on YouTube. I'll be following that up, and maybe we'll have some reasons to sell off here for lower prices. Also, this still remains our other block here. This candle, this up close candle, still remains our other block. All right. Now let's look at Euro USD, GU. GU, GBP, USD, let's look at it from the weekly perspective. Now, GU, let me even go right to the monthly chart. All right, so GU had an SMT. You guys remember that Euro USD took out this high, right? But GU did not. So there's likelihood that GU is going to be targeting this low. And fortunately for us, there's a fair value gap here that GU did not fill. So there is a likelihood of this guy coming down to fill that gap. And if this happens, then this is going to be a beautiful CRT on the weekly. So CRT, this is our CR low, right? Oh, let me just say CR low. This is our CR low, leading us into this fair value gap here. And also we had SMT. Remember, we also have SMT there, center. Because what? Euro USD Euro USD took out this high, so we have SMT. This actually means that there's a likelihood that this is gonna be our target. Okay, that's likely to be our target. The low, that's going to be our target. Okay, so GU on the monthly, we have concluded that we are targeting this CR low, and this is also our CR high, and our key level on this particular trade is CRT high, is based on SMT. All right, and the key level on Euro USD was based on liquidity graph. So let's go to the weekly. Now, weekly, there are people, those of you that trade the Malaysian SNR, I think you guys saw this, right? This is a key level. It's a resistance zone. See, price came up to it, and then now currently we should be targeting this one now. But now, if you look closely, you'll notice that we have something here like accumulation, and the price should read it. Or if we look, we'll notice that we have this to be like some relative equal lows, right? So price should be targeting this. Is our next support, and I believe price is going to break it to the downside. Okay, we are still trading towards that, and this was our clear order block here. In fact, this guy was so clean for sales last week, and for last week we had very clean sales on this guy. So retested, and then we push lower. So now what we want to see here is we are looking now at this range, the range of this candle. We want to see where price can pull back up to before it continues selling to target these areas here, and that will be on the lower time frame. So let's see. Now this is the range. This is the range that we have. Let me put something there. We have that. We have, this is our range low. This is our range low. This is our range low, and then this is our range high. Okay, so we have this fair value gap, same fair value gap that we saw on DXY. Okay, plus this area. If we can at least trade up to that area, then taking out this candle's high, that would be good, and we can have more sales. This is now we'll trade down to this CR low here. So apparently we have reasons for more sales on GU. Leonard, you mentioned something about power of three and volume flow. Can you send a chart on that? Send a chart on that to enlighten me more at what you're trying to show, so that I should not miss out on your question. All right, so this is what we have on GU. A little push back again to the upside, and then price should continue selling. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. But if price comes down to this point here, okay, this is like another block on the this is like an order block or key level. Like I will say, this is like a key level on the. It's like a key level on the higher time frame. So if price comes here, we're gonna wait. Maybe there'll be a more pullback. Okay. Are you guys following up? Are you guys following up? Please, if you are following up, type 1 on the chat. Nobody's liking the live. I don't know. It looks like we are wasting our time here. Is that so? Or maybe some people did not find us. I don't know. Are we together, guys? I need to know if we're together. I need to know if we're together. I need to know if we are together, so that we don't leave someone behind. Should not leave anybody behind. All right, so this is what we are actually expecting on GU. Now we can move maybe to, let's go to gold. Let's look at gold now. All right, so looking at gold, let's even go right up to the monthly chart. You guys can see that we have a very strong bullish candle on the monthly time frame, and now we are on the 28th of this month. So there's a likelihood that we are closing out on this candle this big, right? So let's just put something like that, monthly high and monthly low, and maybe we can see. Let's try to get 3,800 on this candle. Or let's put it 3,800. I want us to use it as a key level. We have here 0, 0. Okay. All right, good. So this 3,800 is like a key level for us. So we're going to use it as a big figure number. Now on the weekly, this is our previous monthly high. Keep that in mind. Previous monthly high. Let me reduce it to 10. That's our previous monthly high. And this is our weekly low. So we have a weekly fair value gap, guys. We have a weekly fair value gap here. Listen, yes, I saw that too. I saw that that the liquidity pushed low, as you mentioned. Now we have this fair value gap on gold. Now this is the most recent internal range liquidity that we can be looking at on Go. Okay, that's the most recent internal range liquidity area we can be looking at on Go. So if we have price like that, maybe a little bit push down, but now I want to expect sales on Go only after we take out previous monthly high, something like this. Okay, so let's go again to the daily. Now this means we are still bullish on Go. This means we are still bullish on Go. You guys can see how price respected this fair value gap. This is let me delete this one. This is weekly FEG, 1 week FEG. So this is 1 week FEG, and yeah. So you can see price respected this fair value gap nicely, IFAD, and we are pushing back to the upside. Fortunately, price, I know people want to put this to be a CRT, but we have this previous monthly high. If this monthly candle try to close around this area, there will be a likelihood that price will have to take out the previous monthly high. All right, that's what I'm looking at. So it's very, very important that you be patient or you continue with buys for now. Okay, even though price have closed below this one and this one, there's still likelihood that maybe on Monday we might want to trade lower again, maybe now to complete this CRT, or even still price can do something like this and then still continue higher. But for the meantime, looking at how the monthly candle is likely going to close, there's a likelihood that what price will want to take out that previous monthly high. Okay, and this is going to be, I want this to be my plan A. Okay, I want this one to be my A and then this one to be B. Okay, which means that I would love to see price take out the previous monthly high, maybe now on, that was Tuesday, right? 30th, no, 30th is on the Tuesday, it's on the 2nd, on the Tuesday. This month ends on Tuesday, right? Am I correct? This month ends on Tuesday, am I correct? And if that happens, I don't know if price will want to linger around till that, but if we want to sell, then price can likely trade lower into this fair value gap, taking out this low, and also the high of this candle has some significance into it as well, which has no wick like that. So even with this, we can have this area as an area of a break and retest as well. All right, so on gold, I would love to see price continue higher, maybe hit that 3,800 key level before we continue to sell. Now you guys tell me on the comment section, which one are you choosing? Do you want price to go higher first before dropping, or you're dropping first before going up? Which one are you taking, A or B? You can just type. If it is A, you put A. A means that price will move higher before it drops to this fair value gap, and then B means that price is going to drop first before going higher. Let me see, which one do you guys choose? All right, Janvier, buy before sell. Okay, that means Janvier is going with A. Who again? Let me see, you guys. Let me see. Put your answer on the chat. Let's go forward. Buy before sell. Now, let's go to the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour, price before closing traded right down, closing this heavy bearish. Now, also with the SNR traders, they will see this zone. This was also going to be price did not actually touch that, so maybe a resistance area, and then price is finding it hard to move higher. So to continue with buys for now, this should still be my key level. Okay, that should still be my key level for prices to continue higher like that. From there we can push higher, and then that's it. So this is still my other block here, OB, middle right. Okay, This down close candle is still our order block, and we have that fair value gap there. So we can expect, let's go to 1 hour and see something. Now if this is where I'll love to buy, yeah, somewhere there. Okay, now this is a very nice area. It's a very strong area. If I go to a line chart, you'll notice something. You'll notice that at first we're kind of like a resistance, got broken, retested, retested again, retested until, so this is the kind of a zone that we have here. You see that? So there's a likelihood that price will retest this zone and then continue higher, something like that. All right, so on gold we are bullish, probably getting buys from here to the upside. Okay, but I think if price starts to fail, if price close below now this area or this other block here, definitely we'll be trading lower at that time. We'll come right down to this point, and maybe we can start seeing that price will be trading right down to this area, because we have also this fair value gap here, and this fair value gap is trying to retest this zone. So if that happens, then we cut up for this area. Now gold is a pair that loves breakers a lot. Okay, gold is a pair that loves breaker blocks a lot. So if we don't continue buying, as I've mentioned, then we'll sell down to this point. Like if we break below this one, we're gonna trade like that, and then maybe higher prices from there, something like that. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking at on gold. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's start from the monthly. All right, beautiful. On Bitcoin, we have a classic 1 month CRT that is happening here, guys. You guys should see this. We have this fair value gap as well. Okay, internal range liquidity. That's our internal range liquidity that we have there, and we have this to be our CR low. All right, so we want to see price take out this July, the month of July, the low of month of July. So let's go to weekly. Good. You can also see how the weekly candle closed. Plus, this is a very strong area of resistance. Price respected this fair value gap here. We did not close above it, so that's a good sign. And then we have this CRT, very interesting already, and the price about to close lower. And right now what we have is this inversion here, guys. We have this inversion gap, we have this inversion here. So this week there's a likelihood that we're going to continue lower to take out this CR low. All right, and if that's going to happen, then we likely have price do something like that. Let's go to the daily. All right, so on the daily time frame, we have next to that area where we have that as our inducement zone, we have this high here. maybe I don't know if price will really want to push higher again up to that point, but we have this now to be our order block, because this area here already filled this gap. So we have already rebalanced that zone, so we can be looking forward now to have a retest of this zone to continue lower. Okay, maybe here like that, and then price should trade lower into taking out the CR. And then first, this is going to be our first target. First target, Leonard, thank you. So we have this one. Let me even put something here. Let's delete this and then come here. Put my value. Okay, so this is our 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. Okay, remember we have this area to be our order block. So if price actually wants to trade up to this zone, which is our order block, then we even have something here. This can possibly look like let me just delete this. Now take note of this area. Take note of this zone. This is what? This is the fair value gap, the inversion gap that we've mentioned here. So so let's see, maybe price will want to trade back up to this fair value gap here. I don't know, that is possible. We'll trade back up to that fair value gap. Then we are going to use this key level here as the inducement. Okay, we're going to use this key level, this other block, as the inducement, and then we'll bump into that area, which this is our other block here, OB. We have that to be our other block. So if that happens to be the case, then we have a reason to sell from there. Okay, and it aligns also with the daily order block here, this one. Okay, this one. Okay, so if price comes there to the outer block, we can have some sales. All right, so that's what I'll be looking at on Bitcoin. I don't think there is any serious trend line that we can have around that area. Yeah, so that's it on Bitcoin, guys. We are still bearish on Bitcoin to take out the low of July. Can there be a sweep? Yes, it's possible. All right, so this is what we have here. This is the inversion. We have already swept this high, so I don't expect. We have already swept that high. I don't expect price to trade up there again. So this can be used as a key level without any problem. So that's our key level there plus that fair value gap. Let's look at, can we look at GBP GPY? Okay, let's go to GBP GPY. Do I have it on my chart list? Let's look at USD GPY and then we'll go to GBP GPY. Okay, remember the idea we had on DXY. We had plans to buy on DXY, right? So USD JPY should probably be the same thing. It should not be too different. And on USD JPY, we can all see that price wants to target this high, and then even this one too. Okay, very positive about that. So we want to target this high. This is our buy side liquidity, and that's our target for USD JPY. So on the daily chart, we want to see prices move up to that zone. We have this area, which looks like an area that an area of resistance, which is becoming our support now. So we have this fair value gap on USD JPY, a pullback to that zone, and then higher prices. So let's look at GBP JPY. GBP JPY. Let's use FXCM. Now GBP JPY on the weekly time frame is looks so good for sales. Wow, this looks like we have seen this already somewhere. Oh, it was on GBP USD. Okay, okay. Wow, why does this look almost the same like it looks just exactly like GU, which is GBP JPY. Alright, so on GBP JPY, we also have something here like relative equal lows, and price did the exact same thing here. This is our other block, and we should continue selling at least, maybe to take out this low first and then this one later on. Okay, these are relative equal lows. You can call it candle lamp. Bottom center. That's our liquidity zone there. So there's likelihood price is going to rate that. Okay, but this should be our first target on the daily time frame. So maybe the early days of this week will likely be interested in pullbacks, I think, right? Pullback up to this point and then a further sell. Price should, yeah, we have an inversion gap here, which aligns straight with this one. So it's a good expect some sales from there. Okay, like that, maybe a push up and then price comes down. You can also use this one to be our first target. What? Oh, this is GU. Okay, I think I saw. Okay, GBP JPY. What? Okay. Thank you so much. It's GU, man. I've been analyzing GU. I'm like, okay, this is what we analyzed before. It looks like the same thing. I was surprised, like, how come GBP JPY is moving the same like GU? Thank you so much, guys, for that heads up. I almost missed it. I was surprised, like, why this thing look like it looks like we have already analyzed this, but I'm seeing the same thing again. I was already confused. Uh, fucked up, man. All right, so um, this is GU, and this is GJ. We have something here like a CRT, and on the weekly time frame, as you can see on this chart, we have this volume gap. Price respected it nicely, and the weekly chart we traded back up. So we can also still use this on GJ as a CRT, and then we have this volume gap as our key level, right? We have the volume gap as our key level. So this means that we need higher prices on GJ, probably to take out this high, which is our buy side liquidity. But now, before trading this one, I always like that we use Japanese yen index so that we can actually see what's going on. But just looking at this one, we can expect prices to continue higher. This is our other block here on the 4-hour. So we can expect higher prices on this, and we have a very nice other block here, this one. And before it was created, price did a stop hunt here. So there's we can have prices to continue higher like that from there, completing is it daily CRT? Yeah, this daily CRT, this long bearish candle, that's our CRT high. So if we push down like that, also this might end up to be a kiss of death, which means price can push lower like that before moving higher to take out that high. It's very possible. Okay, so we have two areas: either price buys from this one or it buys from here. So since this is the 1 hour time frame, you can look for confirmation on the 5-minute time frame when price approaches that that level. Okay, so that's GG, right? Any other pair you guys want me to look out for? You guys tell me which of these key level do you think is going to hold? A or B? Do you think A will hold or B? Which key level is gonna hold here? A or B? Which key level is going to hold? A or B? When I saw this, it formed like a cup and handle self formation. So I don't know if you see cup on what? Cup and handle. Listen, come again. You said you saw something that looks like a cup and handle. I know that cup and handle. Cup and handle is something like this. Let me try to draw it. It's a setup that looks something like this. Price plays around like that, and it trades something like this. So we have, I think it looks something like this. So that let me see, maybe price trades like that. It looks like a cup, right? But now there's always a breakout of it. Maybe you have something like that. There's always a breakout, and this is like the handle, and the price continues higher. Okay, so that's how the copper handle looks like. And if this is gonna be it, maybe like let's say mention like this, then it should continue higher, right? This is like the retest of it. So we're expecting a pullback. Now the only reason why we feel like A might not be it is because we don't have a clear inducement, but this is an inducement on the 15-minute or maybe lower time frame like 5 minutes. Yeah, anyways, but I think there was a good stop hunt here already, so I'll go for A. there was a clear manipulation here. There was a clear manipulation here on the accumulation, manipulation, then distribution. It was very clear, guys. It was very clear. Although, yeah, it was clear somehow, but uh, my, we had a retest of this. So I'll go with A. I'll go with A. I'll go with A. But then I need confirmation because the moment I see two setups in one place, my mind is already shifted. I need confirmation before any other thing. Okay, I need confirmation. Now, the reason why I'm looking for confirmation here is because there's likelihood that this can be a case of death, which means a case of death is the last top one that the market makes before it reach a key level. Which means that if this is our key is this our drawn liquidity, then price is coming to our draw. Now the last top hunt that happens is what we call the case of death. So this last top hunt that is happening here is an intentional move to grab out this liquidity here. All right, because maybe as it's reaching at this point, a lot of people are coming into the market and they are taking positions left and right. Okay, so many people are buying to take out and stuff like that. So the market induce now what? It induce people to get in as sellers, and it also takes out the buyers, right? Because those that were buying, they're putting their stops here, so it triggers their sell positions. It triggers the sellers here, all right? And as people are selling now, that's how the market moves as fast as possible to the drawn liquidity. So the reason why I pointed out B here is if there's going to be that the case, but we have this accumulation here. It's still possible that price can manipulate into A and then start buying immediately without going down again to B. Okay, yeah. Let me go to daily. There's something that I've seen on the daily chart here, which is looks interesting. On the daily chart, yeah, we have this. Okay, guys, I think B looks very interesting. There is something on the B. It looks very interesting, especially I see that on the day and the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour also have something to do with B. Another block on B. So I think we are going for B now. We are going for B, I suppose, but now we also have to watch out for A. All right, it's very possible. So this is gonna be it. But overall, I think this should be it. This one here. Okay, that should be B. Yeah. Again, which other chart do you want me to check, guys? Which other chart do you want me to check? Which other chart do you want me to check? Also, remember that this is going to be NFP week, right? Is this going to be NFP week, guys? Is this going to be NFP week? Is this going to be NFP week? Looks like we have network glitches. Uh, this NFP week. Let's look at US 100. US 100 daily up push to the upside. Let's look at US 100. If this is NFP week, guys, please let's check. Friday is NFP. PI. Okay. We'll go back to G later on. We'll check it. But now let's look at this US 100. We close within this low, so we have this one. This is a weekly chart. Now, I think everybody here will want to think that prices should continue lower, right? Maybe to fill up this gap, to fill out the fair value gap on this weekly chart. Let's look at it on the daily. All right, so daily we have that low already, and that was like, okay, it's also like a retest zone here. And daily looks good. We respected this rejection block. Okay, it's a rejection block here. We respected that rejection block, and price is pushing higher. We go to 4-hour daily. Uh, 4-hour chart. Now, if we want to complete the weekly CRT, the one that we just saw, then there's a possibility that we're going to have what? Sales coming in from above this candle, this high. We have something like that, this other block for more sales. So this will be like an inducement into this other block here, and that's around this zone. Good. So even though we don't have this high here did not grab any major liquidity, so it's a very risky zone. It's a zone that is not protected. Okay, but we have this fresh zone as well here. So this one is what? This is gonna be B, and then this is gonna be A. It's gonna be our A. I would love to see A work because of this inducement. All right, unless the volume is going to be too high, that price will want to go up to B. And if price is going up to B, it will go right up to this line where we have that support. Okay, so it will be like that. But if you want to react on B, on A, then it will be something like this. So that's what I'm expecting on US 100. This is just so that price can at least pull back down to maybe fill this gap here, take out this low, which is a weekly 1 week favor gap. That's our 1 week FVG low. This was a rejection block. Okay. So if this weekly candle opens and then we trade up to somewhere here, or even half of this week, the half of that week falls into the fair value gap, but I don't think price might want to trade up to that zone. There's a possibility that we'll just open like that, trade up to this point, and then continue lower to at least fill this gap before we continue higher. And if that's going to happen, then this is this falls around B, or around point A. Okay, it falls around the A key level, so that's what I'll be looking at. But as I mentioned, this is the 4-hour chart, so which means that if price comes to this point, we are going to do what? We simply look for confirmation. We look for a shift in market structure on the lower time frame. Or for those of you that are trading CRT, you can now look for a 1-hour CRT confirmation here, and you trade the candle 3 of it. Okay. Now, those of you that are trading maybe head and shoulder pattern or FTMO, Archimedes, whatever strategy you are using, when price comes to this point, that's where you need to now look for that confirmation on the lower time frame if you're not sure that price is going to respect this zone or this one. Now, even those that are trading SMR, whether it's the Malaysian support and resistance, right? You're going to use this as a key level, all right? Because if we go to the 1 day chart, this is going to be a good support. This is a V, A area, so which means price wants to go up there. That will be a support zone. So I really love to see price come right up to this point, but I feel like if price comes up to that zone, it will likely break out to the upside. Okay, and it will not be filling this fair value gap that we've spotted here. It will not fill this weekly fair value gap here. That's what I'm thinking. If at all price will want to go right up to that point. But we have this 4-hour. 4-hour has an inducement and it has a point of interest here. So we want to wait for A or B to get our confirmations. Remember, all this that we're doing is get good key levels on the lower time frames, right? So that on the high time frame, so that we can have good price action, or we can have wait for confirmations on the lower time frames. Okay, this was a good point of interest as well. We had that liquidity purge, and then we had this other block. So price came down, respected it nicely, and then we're pushing higher. Plus, this was a CRT here, and then we have completed it. So there's a likelihood price trades around that zone, and we sell off. It took a very strong reversal to the upside. Yeah. Okay. Somebody say we should go back to GU. I think we've already talked all on GU that we are expecting price to at least push, take out this high, and then sell off, which is going to be filling this fair value gap on the daily chart here. It's going to be filling this fair value gap on the daily chart. Okay, we're selling. At least we'll target this low, which is this key level I pointed here. That's going to be our first target, like something like this. Okay, but now all of this, we're going to trade it live throughout this week here, so that because price can open and just start going down. So on Monday, maybe Monday will open and trade so much down to some points where now maybe within the week selling. And plus, this is NFP week. Which asset have I not checked? Euro GBP. Okay. Euro GBP. Euro GBP is a very funny pair because it deals with euro and pounds, and they are always fighting. It's a pair that likes to consolidate a lot. So let's look at it weekly. On the weekly chart, we have not taken out this high, and I believe we should probably even taking out this one. Now, if think about this, price wants to, if Euro GBP is buying this, then there's bound to be an SMT between GU and Euro USD. Okay, so if this chart, if Euro is buying, it means that what? Euro USD is stronger. So we have this other block here. Let's sell or a buy. Fair value gap on GU above the one I marked on the daily. Oh, this one, I don't, no, it's far up, it's too much. I don't expect price to go right up there before we sell off, but it's still possible. If price plays around here too much before NFP can spike like that and then continue lower. But for now, I want to see a retest of this one to continue lower. But it's possible. Everything is possible. Okay, you just have to manage your risks and implement your system. Your system needs you to do what? To get confirmation, to get it. If it needs you to enter aggressively once you have seen your liquidity pouch and all that, you do it. Okay. You guys said we are doing what with NFP? 50-50. Okay. People are saying that Euro USD, GBP USD is going to be a buy, and others are saying that it's going to be a sell. Okay. Anyways, guys, I think we have been here for quite some time. 1 hour, about 1 hour 20 minutes. So can we take a break? If you have questions, you can ask me now for the next 10 minutes, so that it will be that we have spent 1 hour 30 minutes. If you have questions, then you can let me know, so that I'll answer it before we end this particular live session. Make sure that you subscribe, because on Monday we are going to start live trading. We're trading live here, and I'm thinking of getting a 100k account, and then we trade it all live here on YouTube through the fund, the evaluation phases right to the end of the, maybe right up to cashing out and stuff like that. Okay, but I don't know how it's going to look like, but I'll see. We have about, I want to do a 90-day challenge, maybe a trading challenge, or but we are going to see. As we're discussing all the time, we'll look at it all together. Any questions so far? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? I need questions, guys. If you are still lacking on any particular topic, you can tell me. You can tell me. Maybe I'll make a lesson on that for you. If you're still behind on any topic, you can tell me. I can make a video for it, and then all right. No question. How many of you trade? How many of you trade crypto? There's a setup on crypto here that I'm thinking of, and I don't know how many of you trade crypto here. How many of you trade crypto? Okay, I have a problem when it comes to premium and discounts. So please, can you help explain more on that? I think I've made a lesson on premium and discounts PDRs, right? I'll make a video on that. Premium and PDRs. The difficult thing about it is just being able to identify your ranges. Okay, identify your range high and your range low. There's nothing complicated about it. After you've done that, then you divide your range into two. You have the premium and your discount. And now what you need to know is if there's gonna be, maybe there was something like this, okay, in the course of the pullback, in the course of the range. Once you have something like this, which is gonna act like your inducement, okay, something like that. Now at this point, there's a likelihood that price will do what? Come up to take other inducement before it sells off. So now it actually now depends on the trader or on what the market does. Sometimes the market will give that inducement here and then goes down. This will be a range low, your range high. Now with this inducement here, it can make the market to go right up before it sells. Now sometimes if that inducement, maybe it can be at the equilibrium of your center, of your range, right? Then price can take it. If there's a fair value gap here or mitigation block, you can take it into that zone and then sell off. But now if you have your if you have your inducement if you have your inducement down here, I don't trust this one much unless that we have a breaker here, right? If you have a breaker here, yeah, it's now, maybe it can be different. You cannot trade this one, which is below the equilibrium, which is at a discount. That's the only time you can sell at a discount. But apart from that, if there is no clear breaker here and a clear inducement, that's a pullback that did not mitigate the breaker. There's no point selling on this discount. You wait more because the price can likely come up to the premium before it sells off. Okay, I think I've answered that question. This is a very nice topic, premium and discount. It also helps you to know how deep your pullback is going to be. Okay. Uh, okay, just for example here. Okay, this is what? This is our range low, and this is our range high. Now you will notice that within the range low and the range high, where do we have? This is where we had a small pullback within that movement. Okay, now what did you notice here? Price had to come down and then from the other block here. Now if you could measure that, okay, this is my range low like that, you'll notice that this is at a discount, right? It's at a discount. You're buying at a discount. Okay, now this is another one here. This is what? This is your range high. This is your range high, and then this is your range low. Now you notice that within the range low and the range high, we had about two pullbacks. This one, we had about two pullbacks. This one, and then this one here. Now, if you choose this one, there is no good POI around that zone. But if you choose this one now, like you did here, this one is at a discount, right? So we have price pulling down to the other block here. So that's just it. If you have choose this one, like, okay, I want the price to read this one and go higher, it's risky because it is at a premium. Even if this was your breaker block, it's still risky because what? It is at a premium. But once you have an inducement at a discount, it's always good. The only scenario that I pointed out that you can use this one at a premium to buy is only when there is it's only in a situation where you don't have any other inducement lower, right? But this one will have an inducement lower, and then price did what? Stop wanting to trade into the other block. If you are scared to buy here, this is your other block. The moment price close above that area, you can engage on a buy as a retest of that, and now you can put your stops below that low other block, and then you target the high. Okay, it's that simple. All right. I think we've exhausted our time, 8:30. So I appreciate all of you guys making our time to join this market forecast. I wish you guys the best, and please stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and also like the live. And we're going to trade live here on YouTube, I think, throughout this week, so that we'll make the money together. We'll trade together. You will share your ideas with me, and then we'll look at it together. All right. So thank you guys so much for participating. I appreciate it, and I wish you the best.